Hey everybody, Hugh here. Welcome back. Well, this time we're over at the allotment, the potager at the allotment, and you can see just busy clearing and cleaning and clearing and cleaning, and the place is looking all the better for it. Got a bit neglected there in the autumn time. We were around, we did enough just to keep the paths clear and enjoy some of the wildness from the summer growth. But back to spring and sort of clean out, clear out, and then looking at, well, what is the plans for the new year? So some ideas on that. First of all, quick tour, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, as they'd say. And we're in the good part, would you believe? This is the main path in, and it's all been cleared and tidied up debris, and it's looking rather nice. You can see the diorama there, the big grassy one has been cut back, and the hemerocallis, or the daylilies there, they've had a lot of the winter growth stripped away, if you like to expose them. Here's hoping we don't get frost. That'll burn back that spring growth because we've removed all the winter protection, which is in the most part quite mushy and wet, so I think the plants will benefit quite nicely from it. As always, here you can see the rhubarb is an early one, and it's romping away there, so we might get a couple of pieces off that. In fact, before I go, I might take a couple of pieces off it, because typically the soil here is very wet over winter, and in fact there's some places here in the potager that you'll hear me squelching, and you can see there's boards and tiles up there, because when we get rain it gets very wet. But the rhubarb really enjoys it, and we benefit when the rhubarb is enjoying it. The apple tree, what was one point sort of a waist high apple tree, was growing a little bit wild, so I've pruned that back. You can see there are some nice spurs on it that are going to produce some nice flower buds, and hopefully we'll get some fruit. I suppose I should winter wash it with some tar or tar oil, but it'll be grand. This fine construction piece is an ornate little plant support that, well, not little, big ornate plant support that my dad made about 15 years ago. It's been in the potager here with the rose around it. Removed the rose, when was it? Probably last spring, or maybe even slightly before that, and have left it here as an ornate piece. But one of my fellow allotment holders said they found a couple in the allotment taking it away, so he stopped them and he said, "Oh, that looks like Hugh's." So he said, oh, is it? Oh, we weren't quite sure. So thank you, John, thank you, Jeanette, for the save, and they've been minding it on their plot, so that'll have to be tied down or brought away, one or the other. It's a pity to hear that, because I did take the main lock off the gate, or the lock off the main gate, if people wanted to come in and mooch around and enjoy a little bit. But when you hear this, and I didn't think there was much for robbing really that I was precious about, but there you go, we learn. So we learn. And again, more weeding and clearing. Everything that's been in this pot that we were growing deliberately has almost passed away. A little bit of a sage plant there, a flowering sage, nice of course scent. But again, just I think we'll empty the pot out and reuse it. Maybe another pot pond if you were watching the last video, or something, I'm not quite sure. Growing some more plants. This area here, the wilderness, again, some more debris from all the mammoth cutting back and tidying, and there's some more over there as well. So it really is a time of clean and tidy. I know most people that watch this and that certainly comment are experienced gardeners and get the benefits of really getting to grips with the garden at this time of year in preparation for the spring, catching those weeds before they get to run and get out of control. So that's what I'm doing here, and that's what we're planning, is really just getting it back in order before we decide, well, what do we want to do this year. The tunnels in the courtyard area at home keep us more than busy for flowering plants and so on and so forth. So I'm thinking that we might look at these main beds and take out whatever's in them and maybe use them for a cropping piece. You know, crops that don't need too much care and attention. A good digging over, and put them to good productive use, as we mostly did with the tunnel last year and the year before that, because just not benefiting from seeing the pieces that are in flower here. Don't get me wrong, they're nice when we do get to visit during the summer, but the original intention was to create this lovely oasis that we'd spend time, but sure, that's what the courtyard is at home. So it's like, oh, what else can we do with this space? And I'm thinking more productive. But Judith and I will have the conversations, and we'll throw around some ideas, share some thoughts, and see where we go. Any thoughts yourselves? By all means, let me know. The basic structure is good, isn't it? I mean, we have the beds, we have the edge there with some nice tiles, and it's ornate. So it's a matter of what do we want to do with the growing spaces, and making the most of it. Wheelbarrow is still punctured, so that's why there's some mounds of debris around the place. Probably no harm allowing some of the beneficial insects to, like ladybirds and so on, to overwinter before we remove them for the spring. So that's why I'm no real rush to get rid of those piles. But like that, I do want the beds nice and tidy. A couple of bits of furniture that came from the skip originally. Sorry, it came from the recycle area originally, not the polite way to say it, that need to be recycled again. So we'll get to doing that. And last year we didn't do too much with the fencing, although I said it a number of times. We needed to redo the fencing. It never happened, and the shed painting as well. So there's a few tasks that would be nice to spend time and get to do them this year, just to freshen it up. I will of course put a lock back on that main gate, like I was saying, and people can enjoy it from afar rather than coming in and seeing what they can help themselves to. Anyway, as always, thanks for stopping by, thanks for commenting. If you are still here, remember to give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithms, but the only rhythm that I have these days. But yeah, dad's joke there. But yeah, do give me a thumbs up there if you remember, and of course comment with any ideas. Meanwhile, I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to go and take that very nice plant support, bring it back home. It'll be repainted up and reused in the courtyard or the tunnel area. Look after yourselves, do take care. All the best for now. Bye bye.